new friend and whoever is watching this.
I'm excited to get to know you.
I actually started with photography when I was about 13 years old.
Then it's probably something you can channel into your creative work.
I had half a mind to just fly there and just start filming things.
And I just got a call from Disney 2 days ago.
That feeling of somebody being like, that was good.
They will create something that is tangible and lasting, and they can always refer back to it.
And everyone else who hears it can have their own unique and personal response to it.
My name is Khalid I was born in Wichita, Kansas. I guess I could say I'm from St. Louis. I think between St. Louis and Kansas City is where I spent the majority of my life. But I've lived in about 15 cities across maybe 5 states and 10 countries. I'm also a filmmaker, and yeah.
Hello, my name is Austin Brown. I'm from Kansas City originally, but I currently live in a little suburb of Madrid, Spain called Getafe. I'm a video creator. I play music. For work, I do freelance graphic design and freelance video work. Yeah, I think that's me.
All right, creative dream for the future. I am working on a film project that is designed to bring communities together. More specifically, here in Kansas City, it's called the Kansas City Community Film Project. And the goal or the purpose of the project is to create an incentive for all these people in the city to come together. So artists, nonprofit organizations, businesses, city, government elected officials, etc., etc., etc. And by executing a film project together, they will create something that is tangible and lasting, and they can always refer back to it as an example of how they were able to work together.
There's a few projects that I'm working on right now. I've got some projects I'm working on for vlogs where I make a video probably once or twice a month here while I'm in Spain. But longer term, what I want to work on when I'm here in Spain for the next 6 months or so is a series on the public transport system in Madrid. I think it's a very interesting concept because in America, there basically is no public transport system. I just think it's kind of cool. Longer term than that, my big picture kind of ideas of what I want to do is, well, I want to start a company. I want to create a film company and do ad agency work in Kansas City and in the Midwest region in general. But in terms of the actual creative goals, the things that I want to do long term, I would like to film more documentaries and films, short films. There's a lot of interest that I have in the kind of hot topic issues that happen in the world, like what's happening in Ukraine right now. I had half a mind to just fly there and just start filming things and reporting on things. It's very fascinating to me, the people that put their lives on the line to report on the issues that are happening in the world. But again, short term, nothing risky. I just want to film some kind of simple stuff about the history of the metro system here in Spain. And after that, company work. And after that, more films.
Yeah, that sounds interesting. Public transportation in Madrid. It's been a long time since I've been to Spain, but yeah, I remember the public transportation systems all over Europe as being something that was interesting. Creative fears, weaknesses, and things that might hold me back. Well, I don't consider it a weakness per se. Oftentimes, things that we believe are our weaknesses turn out to be our strengths. But something that I recognize about myself and my creativity is that because of my experience, I've had some very unique experiences that a lot of other people have not had. And I don't mean that in a boisterous way, but because of those personal experiences, when I create things through the prism of my personal experience. And because my personal experience is vastly different than a lot of others, but primarily a lot of other African Americans, and more specifically African American men, I think I have a hard time finding an audience. But I also believe that that's a strength, because what ends up happening is I develop things that other people are not developing. So, you can look at that either way. I don't really think there's anything holding me back. I have fears, I have doubts about myself, like every other human being, but those things don't stop me from moving forward with what I want to do.
Hey, I'm using my phone as a mic again. It's easier than setting up a whole mic. So things that hold me back creatively and my fears when it comes to creating. I find your perspective to be very interesting, talking about how the perspectives that you have can hold back your potential audience, and having your experiences make you less approachable to your audience. I find that very fascinating. And for me, it's like sometimes I worry that it's the opposite, where my perspectives, well, I don't have enough perspective on life. I don't have enough going on. I don't have the experiences that my audience would have. I guess that's part of the reason why I like the opportunities of like coming to Europe, moving to Europe, going to different countries, experiencing how other people do life, because I want more perspective. I think I was homeschooled. So being homeschooled in the style of homeschooled that I was, it doesn't necessarily hold you back, but it does limit your perspective. And it forces you to want to get out there and find your own perspectives on life, to see how the rest of the world and just people in general experience their life. So I think right now I'm in a perspective gathering phase of my life, where I'm trying to understand the world better, pull things in, and just experience the way that people do things. So I guess that small fear of having a lack of perspective has held me back, but currently doesn't as much because I'm actively combating it. But my number one fear, I suppose, is, the typical, what's the word for it? Oh, imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome is the name of what it is. Yeah. I guess I have a little bit of imposter syndrome when it comes to filmmaking, when it comes to being a graphic designer, a designer in general. I have imposter syndrome, where it's like, okay, there's, hundreds, thousands of artists out there that are better at their craft than I am. I need to get better at my craft. And I guess that's just a little bit of a competitive spirit, where you see other people succeeding, you see other people doing things that you want to do, and you think, oh, well, why am I not doing those things? So, a little bit of imposter syndrome. The thing that holds me back the most as an artist would be myself. I think that I tend to hold myself back and what I'm capable of. For example, out here in Spain, I speak very little Spanish, but I've let that hold me back, because I could be making art with peers around this area, or I could be making films for coffee shops, I could be making small documentaries, and I use the excuse of not being able to speak the language, which here I am, I'm making the excuse again in my head. I was gonna be like, oh, but sometimes that's actually a valid excuse. It can be a valid excuse, but I've been here for enough time where I feel like I should stop using that as an excuse. Man, this is interesting. I'm trying to think if I have any other fears. I want to be as open as possible, obviously, but it's one of those things where, I don't know, I think I hold myself back. I think not having deadlines in my own creative pursuits holds me back. I think that in my work pursuits, since I actually work as an artist, the things that hold me back are mostly in the imposter syndrome. But, you know, it's one of those things where you work through it. You just kind of have to power through. And yeah, that's it. Anyways.